Hey there, everybody. Welcome. We are here with our Survivor 41 premiere review, and man, does it feel good to be able to finally say that.
It feels so good to be back watching the show, having it on the air. We've been counting down the hours until the premiere. It's really exciting. There's a lot that I liked about this.
Yeah, I liked a lot about it. And here's the funny thing. There were some things that irritated me, but I was just so happy to have Survivor back. I was just like breathing it all in. Like I didn't even mind like Probst being like super obnoxious and yelling at people through all the different stuff as though they don't know that they're sucking at something already. It's like I enjoyed so much of this. I like a lot of the players. I think there's some really interesting changes that they're doing. There's some other changes. I'm like, why are you doing this?
But before we get too much into our Survivor review, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We will be here every Wednesday night after the episode talking about Survivor, talking about the strategy, talking about our favorite players, people who maybe are driving the clown car around the island. We'll be talking about it all. So make sure you stick around with us.
And before we go any further, beyond just telling you guys should follow our Instagram at MattandJessTV, we're going to have a quick stop here on Semantics Island because this is the premiere. We're going to call these episodes, we're going to number them based on what CBS does. It is the source of the show. I know a lot of times they do these 2 hours. Everybody gets confused by what episode it is. Is this one episode? We're going to call it whatever CBS calls it just so that that's out in the clear right now. So don't get mad at us if we do something you don't like. Get mad at CBS.
All right, so maybe we should just sort of listen. There was a lot to take in this episode, so I want to start off just kind of taking a breath here and being like, who do we like so far? Or even not even necessarily who we like as well as who we like, but also just who we think is playing kind of a good game already. Like, the Johnny Galecki looking like a snack guy. Voce, I think is his name. I'm probably saying it wrong. But I feel like we've seen that archetype on this show before do very, very well. And he's doing well again.
I'm still like kind of like the just like the mnemonic device part of this game where I look at people and I don't even remember their names.
You're like Johnny Galecki. All right.
I was like neuroscientist, but he's gonna be Johnny Galecki now for the foreseeable future. So we will say that. And the thing is, one of the funny things about this to me is that somebody who I really liked, who I wasn't actually expecting to like going into the game, ironically on the same tribe as Johnny Galecki, and someone who I think is playing a particularly good game. This is the Yasa tribe. The yellow tribe. I'll try to say both because I know it's confusing early on.
Yep.
I really like Xander. Like, I thought he was going to be prototypical surfer bro, but the way, and I know we'll get more and more into like the whole risk and versus protect stuff or whatever.
This is just, we're starting slow here.
Yeah, I liked a lot of what he did with that. I liked his vibe. He's going to be a good physical player. I think he could last for a while.
I also really like Shan.
I also really like Shan.
I like her so much. Her confessionals are 10 out of 10 right away, where she's like, I will pray for you while I walk you out the door. And I have my evil theme song in my head, and she is in a fairly good spot right now.
I loved and there's a lot of praise that's going to go into the Survivor editors in this episode, so but I really loved that they put like a background music cue behind her with her evil music. Like somebody orchestrated that, and then later on in the episode, after she did that bit, they started playing it again.
So good, so good. And the person I also really like, and I'm not really sure how well she's going to do in the game, but I'm a 46-year-old lady, and Jeannie's also a 46-year-old lady. Hey. So I'm, I got to root for her.
I liked her. She was interesting. She had a good backstory. I really like how they spent some time giving us good backstories on a lot of these people. Like they sort of edited in and took stuff away from the game and gave you a chance to get to see them personally. And like, I don't think we've seen that much of that in like the US version of Survivor over the years, the way they pieced that together.
Yeah, I really felt like I got to know people, and normally the first episode can be really overwhelming where it's just like, here's a bunch of names and there's nothing really to connect with anybody at, but they did a very, very, very good job.
I should also throw like a little bit. I don't know why this, this Yasa Yellow tribe is appealing to me
Mm-hmm,
so much, but I
mm-hmm,
also really like Leanna over there.
mm-hmm,
Like she was
mm-hmm,
one of the
mm-hmm.
people before the game. I was like, okay, I think you could do very, very well. So I'm
Yeah,
feeling all right with that right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
So we begin this season with Probst. Okay, this is the thing.
Here we go.
Somebody's got to take Probst's car keys at this point because like he is too drunk on his own power. Like he's doing the whole I'm gonna do the Steve from Blue's Clues, like that viral video a couple weeks. It was like, hey guys, did you forget about me? It's like, okay, Probst, you were gone for a year and a half. It wasn't that long, and like the amount of like self-congratulation that Probst was like giving himself and being like, look at me hiding the idol. Okay, I actually kind of like that one. But like all the other stuff, it was like, okay, Probst, it's not about you. Can we go back to the contestants now?
There was a lot of that with not just Jeff, but also the contestants. And I also understand everybody's very excited to be there. We are very excited that it's back. But there was definitely a lot of Survivor is the greatest thing ever. Okay, we all get it. We are all on Survivor is the greatest island ever together here.
Yeah.
And it just felt like there was a lot of that going on. Like, Survivor changed my life. I was one guy, and Nasir was like, I learned how to speak watching Survivor. I'm like, that's actually really cool. But there was a lot of those moments where it was like, Survivor did this for me. Survivor did that for me. And I absolutely know that that is a thing that happens. But it felt like it was repeated a lot in this episode.
They could have put me on this episode and I could have given my Survivor story that was like,
let's have it.
People made fun of me at school because I like Survivor. Like, that mine's not anywhere near as inspirational.
Why would they make fun of you? Survivor is cool.
I know this is going to be a surprise, a real blindside, kind of like what happened to Abraham. But like, people, I'm not a representation of cool, as it turns out, in like the high school hierarchy. So I think it was like whatever I liked was attributed as not cool. But guess what? It's cool. Look at me now, everyone, sitting here and talking about Survivor in a YouTube studio. So there you have it.
Oh, man.
We're only 7 minutes in, everybody. Buckle in.
All right.
The first challenge, like this whole get your stuff off a boat was such a disaster.
Oh my goodness. It was such a disaster, but it was a lot of fun to watch.
The best moment of this entire thing, and there's too much going on. I don't remember who it was, but the person who like they were having a hard time that Yasa tried finding like the oars. Like somebody tried to go up on like Probst's platform.
Yeah, he's like, it's not up here. I promise you. Get off my platform. I'm paraphrasing here, but that's pretty much what it was. Don't come up here.
Yeah, it was like, I'm willing to celebrate Survivor with you guys, but you guys don't invade my personal space. You get the you-know-what out of here.
And watching, I think it was the Luvu tribe that was just like stuck in their boat and it was still anchored. Thank you for the comedy.
That was the moment that really like just brought all the joy back to my life. We're all sitting here rowing and going nowhere and we don't know what's going on. I loved everything about it. Even if it was inconsequential, like it doesn't matter that much the rest of the episode. I inject all of that into my veins.
Yeah.
So we have 3 tribes. The blue tribe, the Luvu tribe, we have Yasa, who's yellow, and we have the green tribe, which may very well be my favorite Survivor tribe name of all time. Ooh-ah! It's just fun to say.
It is, and ooh-ah!
Yeah!
Won the first challenge easily. So we ended up in a situation where, supplies are a little bit less. So you're getting, a flint, you're getting a pot, you're getting a machete. All the best to you.
I kind of like that too, because
I love it. I love it.
If you're gonna have a 26-day season, this does not need to be like, I don't know, the 4 seasons where this is totally like get off my lawn territory, but like, I don't need to see y'all having your rice, your beans, or everything else. That sounded like Memphis from Big Brother. I'm sorry.
I also, and I don't know if we're going to get these or not, but because it is a shorter season, I don't need to see like, here's the pizza challenge. Here's the challenge where everybody gets cookies and milk. And like, okay, it can just be dropped from this season. If this season is really going to be like an episode of Alone where you're, using a bow drill to like make a fire and it's not that bad, but it's getting closer, then like really make it that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we're on sort of that direction. And now we get to the part of this. This is one of the things that I'm criticizing about this episode. There's too many just like random things sort of going on, and this whole like sweat or like what was the savvy. This isn't the Amazing Race. We don't need a detour like 40 minutes into this where you have to pick between two different things.
It was really an interesting choice, though, because it does mean that two people are going to have to like completely deplete their energy where they don't have any rice. So they know at the end of this, there's no replenishing that energy. So you're going to end up picking like, you know, it was like two of your strongest players on both teams to deplete their energy to get this done. And I understand that that's the sure thing. But, like, come on. That also can really weaken you. I'm not sure that I would have chosen that for many reasons. Johnny Galecki also said the other reason, which is that you are separated from the rest of the tribe. Like, yeah, you can bond with the person you're with, but that's only one other person. It's not really the greatest idea.
What a surprise that Johnny Galecki decides he wants to do the nerdy.
Voce,
yes. This is going to be Johnny Galecki for a while. But, okay, listen. Do you think you and I could have figured out the whole triangle puzzle thing?
I think if there was enough time, anyone can figure it out. Like, really, if there was enough time, it really should have been like, each person goes through it and does sort of a count, and then it's like, oh, 4 of us all are guessing 28 triangles and you guys got something else. Let's just go with what is probably right.
You know what we would have not completed? The bucket thing. We would have been dead.
No. I would have been with those 2 guys that were off looking for the idol.
What guys? You had one job. This was
Hey, they did their job. There was enough time to fill those buckets and look for an idol. People don't need to be, you know, being spies and sneaking around and being like, you know what they're doing? They're looking for an idol. Okay, they're also filling your buckets full of water.
Yeah, Nasir, like, it's the thing. I really wanted to like Nasir because I loved his backstory. He seems like a really interesting dude, but you're not Tony. You don't have a spy shack. You don't even have a spy bunker or like a spy nest. Like, you're just wandering around. Like, it is a bold move to go early on in the game to other people you don't know and be like, I don't like what these people are doing.
It is a bold move, but it could have worked. It really could have worked. I mean, he's got the ear of the other people at the tribe. They did all make the deal. Like, nobody's talking strategy or really doing anything until we're all back together again. And you go to the beach and here's these 2 guys looking around, you know, wasting time. But clearly they knew that they were going to have enough time to do everything. I don't think they would have been running around looking for idols if they knew they weren't going to be able to complete the challenge. So, I mean, then what? The people who have just gotten you flint and a pot and a machete are now the enemy? Like, this is not a great way to start the game.
No, it's really, really not. And I mean, we didn't see this tribe go to tribal, so that really boggles my mind now of like what they actually would have done. But, you know, kudos to you, Danny and Deshelle. You guys found a way to do all of it and then some. But speaking of Danny, we get to the other twist because Probst is still having a good time here and he decided we needed more in this episode.
Yep, everybody pick one person to get on a boat and leave.
This to me felt like there's a lot of like game shows I've seen. There's a game show that aired on Game Show Network that was like this, where I think it was called like Friend or Foe or something. Mm-hmm. And you either, if you came to a consensus, a good thing happened, or you could screw somebody over. Mm-hmm. And the mechanics of this, okay, I'm going to try my best to explain this. We have a lot of material in this episode.
Yeah, we do. All right.
If Xander, Danny, who, by the way, I want to root for because I think he played for Dallas Cowboys for a while. Not that I'm a big Cowboys fan. I just grew up in Dallas, so, you know. But, okay, Danny, Xander are there. JD is there. Yeah. If all 3 of them vote protect, they're all fine. Nobody gets anything.
Yeah.
If all 3 of them decide that they're going to take the risk, then they all lose a vote. They're all screwed.
Yeah.
But because we had a situation where Danny chose protect and JD and Xander chose the risk, then we had JD and Xander both get an extra vote.
Yes. You did it.
Hey, we figured it out. There we go, everybody.
I really like the vibe between these three guys. I was
Yeah.
kind of like, can't you guys all be on a team together?
Like, they were fun. They were
Yeah, they were
likable.
fun.
And, okay, this is now, I go back to praising Xander because I love what he did here so much where you know that everybody who comes back and, like, tries to pass off a lie that's just, like, blatant and straight, it never works.
No, but before he even got on that boat, they put him on the boat being like, he's going to come back and tell us the truth. We all collectively feel that Xander is going to come back and just tell us what is what, because he has that feel about him, that vibe about him. And it completely worked. He came back and was like, here's the truth. Here it all is. And you can wrap a lie up best if most of it is true.
Yeah, like, the only thing I wouldn't buy if I was out there, and I don't know if they bought this or not, was the whole, hey guys, it's our advantage. It's like, okay, well, it's everyone's advantage until it's your advantage, and you actually need it, Xander. I would not believe you for a second doing this.
For sure.
But JD, okay, he was actually pretty truthful about a lot of this. I don't know if he just didn't have, like, trust currency with these other people or what.
That is what it is. It is Ricard. For whatever reason, he just doesn't believe JD. And it's mostly, I think, just because JD is very charismatic. He was like, man, I've been, practicing my fire at home. He's sitting beside everybody and being like, hey, how's it going? He's got charm. There's just something really likable about him that maybe there's a little bit of jealousy there. I'm not saying that Ricard does not have that charm, but he hasn't been working it yet. But JD has been, and people really like him. So I can see why JD, no matter what he came back and said, he could have come back and said the truth. He could have come back and said a lie. He could have done some half truth, half lie. I don't think it was going to matter. I think Ricard was just not going to believe him.
I think that is 100% the case. I think that JD was almost too friendly right out of the gate and too much in the I'm getting to know people mode. I think Ricard was just willing and ready to put a target on someone. That was sort of the easy mark for him.
The target for me, if I had seen JD come to that camp and start a fire in like minutes, he'd be my target right away. Because I know that later on there's going to be a fire making challenge and he is going to murder me at it.
He will murder us all at it. I will say, because Probst is too in love with these advantages, we know we're going to get them. But I at least liked how this one was done because there was a lot of choice that was in it. We got to mix up the tribes a little bit. There was some fun things about this.
Yeah, there was.
And now we get to the shot in the dark introduced before the immunity challenge, which, number one, it sounds too much like the opening lyrics to You Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi. That's my first thing about it.
I just don't like that it just feels so random, and it kind of just takes away the strategy of the game. And like, I understand that it's like a 1 in 6 shot, so it's like, what are the chances? They're 16.7% or whatever, Johnny Galecki said. But it just feels like it is taking away from the strategy of the game, which is what I think a lot of us are here for. We're not here for a last minute roll of the dice and you might be able to get yourself out of it.
Okay, okay, the wheels are about
sorry. I'm sorry if you guys like it, but I don't.
I hate it too. Things may be about to go off the rails. It sucks. Okay,
I didn't like it.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, here we go.
I am Matthew, new Survivor player. I'm gonna walk around the tribe and just be like, hey, I'm gonna do this the whole time, and then guess what? I'm gonna roll this stupid die. And then you aren't going to be able to get rid of me. I'm still here, suckers. Like, I could do that the whole time, annoy the crap out of everyone. Oh, my glasses are on straight now. But you know what? That's the problem with this. You can suck and be the worst player ever. You could be that guy I just was and make it hypothetically to the final 3 because you roll a stupid dice. This is ridiculous.
This die needed more than 6 sides. I'm sorry. This needed to be like a D&D 20-sided die where it was like, if you got a 20, you got safety, and anything else, you're crit and you go home. Like there has to be something. It's too much.
you know there's gonna be like like if Boston Rob was on this season, and you know that if he rolled that dice and it happened that he was safe, every person on the internet's gonna be like, Probst loaded the
I
die.
know.
All that's gonna happen.
I know.
Okay, well, we have the immunity challenge, and we can go and brush over that. Lo and behold, here, Ua ends up having to go to tribal alongside our yellow tribe,
Yep.
our Yasa tribe.
Yes.
I don't like losing two people in one episode. It's a lot.
No, it is a lot, but we only have 26 days, so I mean things are going to be a little more compact.
The state of the yellow tribe to me was kind of weird. Like, we end up seeing Abraham be the first person voted out over there, and I will admit this, if I was on this tribe, I would probably want him out too, because he just seemed really bossy. Like, he just gave me serious, like, bossy pants vibes.
No, I agree. I wasn't that surprised when they ended up just getting rid of him because he is taking over the tribe and nobody wants to go and play Abraham's game of Survivor. Like, everyone has been waiting all this time to come and play their own game. And when you do have somebody like Abraham on the tribe, it's no longer your game. You guys are kind of stuck doing whatever he wants.
He would have just irritated me to no end with that sort of attitude of, okay, it's my way or the highway. And, we were talking about good players earlier. I think Evie's got some real chops here because it seemed like she had the ability to sort of just like sell this to other people, even though like Tiffany wasn't anywhere near as strong of an asset in challenges.
Yeah, they did a great job selling, like really, really good job. Social game, it's good.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said already for Evie as a player, but the thing is that this tribal was fine, but the Ua tribal was
so chaotic.
It was as awesome as their name. I had no idea what was going on at least like 30% of the time.
No, I had no idea what was going on. Like, 1 second it's Sarah, the next second all of a sudden we're going to get rid of Brad. And I'm just like, and I had thought Brad was really actually going to be in trouble because he did just straight up tell Shan and Sarah, yeah, you guys should be the ones to go because of what happened with the puzzle. But at the same time, I can respect having someone like a Brad on my tribe because I always know where I stand with him. And that's really helpful in this game.
There's just something about the fact that I think even Brad, you just look at him, you see that he's a rancher, and it's like, okay, he's totally gonna. And there was even a confessional being like, this is not Survivor 20 years ago, Brad. It's like, of course, he's totally gonna be this guy who just blurts out things that, you're supposed to keep secret nowadays.
Absolutely. I understand that. But if you're willing to give me information, then give it to me because that does me good. At least I have the information and I know where I stand with you, which is also important. As I said, in this game, you have to know where you stand. Is Brad a good player by doing this? No. But is it like helpful information for me? Yes.
This tribal confused the heck out of me because we got like a random vote for like Ricard in the middle of this. I was like, what is going on? And earlier in the episode, I thought JD was in danger. Nobody decides to do the whole shot in the dark thing.
No, even though they're all like, can we put our dice in our pants now? I'm like, oh my God, what's happening here? Are they all going to roll the dice?
And then like Sarah goes and like for like all of my like Survivor pregame brain, I mean, we didn't do predictions or anything, but like Sarah was somebody in my mind I was like circling because like she's like has like an MIT education and she's just like really, really smart. And I was just thinking, okay, people who are really, really smart and can mask it, they usually do really well, but then you screwed up the puzzle early on and you just became an easy target.
Yeah, it's hard early on because, nobody knows anybody yet. So you don't really know what you're, kicking somebody out for.
I just have to say in general, like, we don't know these people that well, but I'm so grateful Survivor is back. I'm so grateful Shen is not eliminated from I think she is going to be the confessional gift that keeps on giving all season.
I really like this cast. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with everyone that is there so far. I mean, like we haven't gotten a lot yet, but this was a good start. It's a good group of people.
Yeah, by far one of my favorite Survivor premieres in a while, and I understand this is also probably recency bias because we haven't had any in a while.
No, we have not, but I think that there are some really, really interesting people in this cast. It's a very diverse cast, very diverse age cast.
Yes.
Which I'm happy for. I like to see people that are a bit closer to my age because
Yeah.
it makes me feel like maybe someday I could do Survivor, but I really can't. So, you know,
Hey,
we've
you
got
can go out there.
genies on there doing it for me.
You could go out there and do the triangle puzzle.
Yeah, no, I couldn't because I wouldn't be able to like climb up anything and I wouldn't even be able to make it across the beach. I'm a non-athlete. I would do so bad at this game.
Here is our advertisement to continue watching our Survivor YouTube videos to watch two people who would be terrible at Survivor
I
talk
think
about
you'd be
it.
good.
Blind man falls too often in challenges.
I think you would do very well.
Well, thank you. I do not think so. But you know what? What do you guys think?
Would
about
Matt
this?
do well?
Yeah. Okay. Do you like this premiere? Would I do better if I went on there like this? Let us know in the comments. And if you do like this video, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and we'll see you here next time.